Greetings, everyone. Thank you and welcome. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Angelic Alchemy Meenakshi, and I am here today to speak about the current energies for our collective with respect to spring equinox, but really not just limited to the spring equinox, but also the current energy of the eclipses and the other events that are to occur over the next perhaps 3 months, but it just ripples out into the rest of the year. So thank you so much for being here. A quick introduction. I am a practitioner of Angelic Alchemy, Past Life Regressions, Angelic Alchemy Reiki, Akashic Records reading, and I am a spiritual mentor as well. So thank you so much for being here. For more information about me, you can visit my website, angelicalchemyholistichealings.com. So thank you. There are quite a few messages that I wanted to share today. And so I'll just go through them as they come through. So as we're moving from winter into spring, I wanted to talk about what we're going through as a collective. As we're aware of what the spring energies are about, they're basically about rebirth. It is about the sprouting of the seeds that were sown initially as the year started. And it is a time for fruition, or to actually see the results of all the effort and the work that you've put in individually and as a collective. So if you look at the work that we do before this time, look at the seeds, the flowers that are coming out now. Before they sprouted as little flowers, little tiny leaves on the ground, on the trees, all over. Before that, they were under the ground, right? And no one could tell that there is life that is growing under earth at that moment. So similarly, we as individuals as well have gone through that phase where in the wintertime, with the winter solstice that comes in, we go into, our safe cocoons, our own energies, into healing and doing deep, deep shadow work. And as we go into that frequency of healing, we connect with, our womb, which is our sacred space, which is where we were created from. And when we talk about the womb, there is our own individual womb that we connect with. And there's also our individual womb is then connected with the Divine Mother's womb, which actually has birthed everyone, all of creation. And also there is a accumulation point of connecting with the womb of the collective, because the whole collective was, birthed from there. So the void is a place, you can call it a void or a 0 point healing. It is basically a point, it is a state of being, it is a level of consciousness which acts as a facilitator, as a chamber, or as a path or a bridge to connect you to your birthing point. That birthing point could be anywhere in the universe where your original soul was birthed. And I love doing that. I first realized about the void, about this 0 point healing, through a Dreamtime message that I received from Archangel Azrael when I was going through a transformative phase in my life. And actually it's happened many times, but there's this one time when they actually gave me a dream about it. And I saw myself, I saw Archangel Azrael come forth, and he extended his hands out, and I held his hand, and he took me into this space which was really dark. It was the darkness of the womb, and he reconnected me with the energies of my own womb, with the energies of the Divine Mother Earth, and Divine Mother of creation. And within that womb, I remember the energies, they were really beautiful. They were comforting, because, if it's negative darkness, you will never feel comfortable there. There is this sense of being home, a sense of being connected with your wholeness, a sense of being connected with your inner wisdom, with the creator being that created you. And what I could personally also see was, like, there was an entrance to this beautiful space, and there were dragons that were actually protecting that entrance. There were quite a few dragons there, and I was shown in the dream time that those dragons were connected to my soul, and they were birthed from my soul. Therefore, they are a part of my soul, and that's why they were a part of that same womb. Similarly, all of you would have your own individual connection to this womb space, to this void, which is connected to your birth point, connected to your personal connection with the Divine Mother of creation. And it is a beautiful place to be because you can really be a baby out there. You can connect with all the yous that you've ever been and get a lot of downloads, activations, recharging, healing. The potential is infinite. So that's where Archangel Azrael took me at one point, and it happens regularly. It's a beautiful place. There is no number of times that you can go in and rebirth yourself. You will feel it within your soul when you feel the need for you to do it. And at times when you're struggling and you don't see it yourself, you will just find yourself there because your guides, your higher self will show you the way. Okay, so I did see myself in that beautiful place. Rebirthing once again, as Mother Earth herself was rebirthing this new creation, this new year, this new spring equinox. And within this space, I realized everything that I needed to heal within myself and activate. And coming back, there was then a sequence of dreams that showed, other things. I've made videos about etheric wings, about connections with, the other guides that I wasn't aware of. And while I'm sharing my own personal experience, but this is basically for the collective. And then you can actually connect with other guides that you aren't aware of. You'll be shown those within that time and space and that frequency that you are in whenever you are ready. So that's what it was and felt like for me. And similarly, if you see now in the spring equinox, we are connecting with the energy of the sun, which shines equally on the northern and the southern hemisphere equally. It's basically now our collective is at that point where we are, Archangel Michael kept saying yin yang this morning. So we are really balancing the yin yang energy within us individually and as a collective. So again, looking very deeply at the light side of you to see how beautiful it is, the beauties of it, the infinity of it, the potential of the light, and at the same time also not fearing seeing your own organic darkness, and or if there's any inorganic attached to your darkness, what that really is, and really doing that deep rooted shadow work for yourself individually, because our individual healing is connected to the womb of creation, and it ripples out into the healing of our collective and the activation of our collective. Okay. So that being said, I also wanted to share that this year, especially now the spring equinox, as we are rebirthing it, is a very powerful year for the divine feminine rising, divine mother rising, the divine feminine and divine mother rising from within us. So it is time for us to, instead of always looking externally, to also, look internally for that divine mother within us, look internally for that womb within us. As we are rising, as we are healing ourselves, some of the basic, very important wounds that are being healed for the divine feminine this year are the womb itself. We are going into deep shadow work and healing work for our wombs, because our wombs, as we have seen in the history of our creation, individually as well as the collective, have been harmed, infiltrated. What was the other word? Hijacked is the word that they're saying, and connected to the artificial matrix, they're saying. Okay, so the womb individually, for many people, I'm not saying for all because we're all individuals, but for many, a large part of our collective has been hijacked in many lifetimes, been used. The seeds from the men as well as the eggs from the women's womb have been used to create artificial beings or used for hybridization programs. And it is time now for our collective to really look within and start healing that womb, healing that wound, the deep-seated wound of those traumas, of those abuses that have happened, not just here on earth, but they've happened in higher planes of existences as well, where we've come from or where we've been before. Okay, I've had many, I cannot count how many sessions I've had of clients that have gone through abductions and have actually literally seen how they've extracted their eggs, their DNA, and then used that to create, a beautiful bird. It'll have a lot of organic, but also some artificial attached to it. So that's what we're doing now. We're healing our wombs. And coincidentally not, I did choose a rusty orange color to wear today, and I did not realize that I would be speaking about it. So we're doing that. we're healing a womb. And as we're healing the womb, some of the main chakras that are connected to womb healing, of course, this is going to be individual for everybody, but is one, the mind space, because when souls go through such abuses and traumas, there's a lot that is going on at a subconscious level, and it gets, what do you call it? It gets imprinted in the subconscious mind, and it becomes a programming, like a negative programming or victimhood or sadness or a feeling that you cannot get out of this situation because of all the traumas and the state of being that you were in or that person was in during the abductions, during everything that happened to the womb. Could be, you know, an abusive experience here on earth as well, not just abductions. All those traumas, all those abuses, they start forming patterns of belief system. So the mind space is something that really needs healing as far as that goes. And the other, so really deprogramming that and taking control back of your own life, of your own womb, of your own creations. That'll be next level for this spring equinox, as we are rebirthing into who we truly are and claiming our power back, our individual as well as our collective power back. The other chakra that really gets impacted with womb abuses is the throat chakra, because it is one of the chakras that they try to close when they are abusing. You know, any form of abuse, whether it's physical, mental, spiritual, energetic, or any of these experiments, abductions that have happened, they always attack the throat chakra consciously or subconsciously, because they don't want the person that's going through the experience to ever speak out about it. So now it is time to really undo that, remove those shackles, remove those chains, and let it go and be your own voice and speak for yourself, and, you know, heal those experiences, acknowledge them, know that they're lodged somewhere, find them in your body, find them in your energetic field layers where they are, and start doing deep healing for it. Because one of the biggest, most powerful strength, Shakti, that you can activate within yourselves is your womb space. Whether you're feminine or masculine, we all have a wombs. So that's where we are heading as a collective. So that's another message that was coming through. And as I said, that this is that they'd shared with me when I, made the video about the winter solstice last year. This is the year of the feminine, the divine feminine rising. And therefore, it's also the time for the divine masculine to really do their deep-seated healing and their activation of the divine feminine within them. What that would really mean for the divine masculine is connecting with their nurturing side, connecting with their intuition, connecting with compassion. Okay, so of course they have a lot of love, and they're nurturing in their own way, but more in a masculine way, now becoming really the nurturers of the family, of the system, of the collective. And as I was receiving this message today, I got a flash of a beautiful, beautiful divine masculine that I know. And his wife has been diagnosed with dementia, and all his life he's been divine masculine, typical masculine traits. And now, with this responsibility of his wife on his shoulders, he's taken it on so beautifully. And the angels just gave me a flash of that beautiful divine masculine, and they showed me how he was now carrying, not that he never cared, but he'd really taken on this role full-time of protecting and caring for his spouse, his beautiful wife, and really treating her like a child and taking care of all her needs, nurturing her, and being so compassionate with her. It's just unbelievable. It's just so beautiful. He has literally activated the divine feminine, the divine mother within him, and it just shows so beautifully. Yeah, so that was a beautiful example of how the divine masculine can, even when they activate the divine feminine within them, they are still divine masculine. Okay, so that's another misconception. I've heard a couple of other light workers talk about it, where they said that, divine masculines should just remain divine masculines and don't tell them to activate the divine feminine within them. And we're calling them all kinds of names. But please, I am aware of, I have it in my own life, the most powerful, beautiful, strong divine masculines, as divine masculine as a masculine can be. and they have their divine feminine activated within them. And that makes them even more beautiful, even more powerful and strong as a divine masculine, because they've balanced the yin and yang energy within them, and they've faced their duality, and they've balanced that polarity within them. So yes, they use their light side. Yes, they use their darkness when it is needed, because that energy is sometimes needed, because you don't want anyone to throttle your energies or try to be condescending towards you or your energies. You need to claim your power and your strength back here on earth, because you're here for a purpose. No one is meant to ever make you feel like that. So always keeping that within balance. So that's another energy that is up for the spring equinox going into this year. The other third message that was coming across very strongly, very powerfully, was that of teamwork. Now, remembering that we are individuals, but we are billions of individuals here on Earth and within our universe. Each individual carries their own DNA, their own strengths, their own power, their own beauties. Learning to respect each other is a big stance that this collective is beginning to really take. So this is something that if we all make a conscious effort of doing that, you may not necessarily agree with everything the other person is saying, but just learning to respect that people are doing their best from whatever consciousness level that they are coming from. And remembering that everyone is contributing something to the collective experience. It may not be the best experience, but it is the experience of the collective. To really know and to really, if anyone is really feeling it, to come out of that superiority complex, that just because, we are awake, or just because we have these awakened gifts, or just because we have this connection where we're talking to source or God, source, angels, whoever we work with, in no way, shape, or form are we more superior to the beings that have not remembered that direct connection that they have with source. They're still contributing to this world, to this earth, to the experience here. The only way that this collective will really rise is, yes, as we work on ourselves individually, but also if we take our collective along with us and we respect each other for who we are, because that is our role as a collective. We need to remember that each one of us has strengths, each one of us has beauties within us that we are here to share with the world. So just learning to treat each other with respect and honor, truly from our heart, because everyone is trying, everyone is trying. So teamwork is something that they were talking about, and collaborations, teamwork, maturity. When we talk about maturity, it is spiritual maturity, just being conscious of the words that come out of our mouth, of the frequency that we're putting out into the world. And just remembering that grace, that divinity within us. And, we can't tell what experience someone else is coming out of. So I'm not saying don't judge anyone. That's up to, everyone to do what they have to do. But to just know that everybody's coming from somewhere. Everyone has a background. There are experiences, life lessons that people have learned. There are souls that are so weary. They're so tired that they are sometimes at a state of collapsing. And imagine if that point, when they're holding on to that last thread, someone comes and just bashes them down with their superiority complex. That is the last thing that soul needs. So I just wanted to bring forth this message of love, compassion for each other, and honor, respect. And the other message that I wanted to talk about today is for the children. So lately, in the last 3 months, I've come across, received messages like just in the 3D world, heard from parents from just around, people that I've not known before, as well as, some new clients that have come in for healings for their children, as well as I've noticed in the public myself is anger outbursts from children. It feels like the collective of children have been triggered with some sort of forces that are coming in and are really like trying to harvest their light and infiltrate frequencies and try to put them in the frequency of anger and challenging their parents, not listening to any advice and guidance that is coming from the elders who really mean love for them. Okay, so a lot of healing has gone in for that. However, because I had quite a few of those sessions, and there's been a lot of improvement in those children and in their situations as well, for the most part. For many, there's some of them are still working through it. However, what they did was they showed me a dream, and in that dream they showed me it was nighttime, and I saw a collective of people. They were meeting somewhere. I don't know if it was a park or somewhere. They were meeting somewhere, and there was a bench, and there were all these people, and I was an outsider. I don't know this collective. I'm not aware of any of the individuals that were there personally. So what that meant was that I'm just looking at a collective. And then from the left side of my eye, I saw something flying down at them. It was a transformer, and this transformer landed. It was a full-on transformer, like a robot, just descending down upon them. And as it touched the ground, it turned into a human being wearing like a white suit, and a regular looking being, like a human. And this being then started interacting with the rest of the crowd, and they were talking to this being as if they're talking to any other organic being. And this was a shapeshifter transformer, which means it was basically archonic, like artificial intelligence. And it just intermingled with the people. So that's an energy that is in the collective that we need to be aware of. And the second thing that they showed me immediately was I looked up at the sky, and I saw, what did I see? I saw a couple of beings just hovering over, and with my third eye, I could just zoom in, and then I saw their faces. They were basically the movie It clown. I haven't seen the movie, but I'm aware that there was such a movie, and that clown was just like smiling like it smiles in the movie. But I could see that it was basically a dark demonic being that could shapeshift. Okay, and there were quite a few of them flying in the air, and they could descend down on the collective, shapeshift into looking like regular beings, and interact with people. But these beings are part of the collective that are trying to mess with the children collective, which we will not allow. So I just wanted to share this message here for parents to be aware of it, to use all your beautiful spiritual gifts to protect and heal and cleanse your children of all energies that they have around them, and to also be mindful and watchful of who they are interacting with, and keep your eye out, and basically your third eye out for everything that is happening, using all your senses. Okay, so when they show us these messages and these kind of beings that are around, it is no way meant to cause any fear. It is an awareness that our guides are giving us, basically because they know that we know our way out. And as soon as we are aware of what is around us, we know how to deal with it. So that's why I wanted to bring forth this message. And these are dark beings, entities that can really, and they were in the dark, so they mostly come in the dark time. So yes, protecting the children collective and healing them, listening to them, always checking in to see what is going on with the child physically as well as energetically. This is the time when parents need to really step into their power of their beautiful love and compassion for their own children and that of the collective, and also protection. Shields up at all times. This is something I tell everyone that I know that I feel comfortable enough, sharing the message with, and of course my clients. Shield. Have your shields up at all times in the form of your love and your protection and your sovereignty and your boundaries. In no way are the shields connected to fear energy. They are your empowerment. Just like you would not leave your doors open at night when you sleep, you would lock your doors. Many people have an alarm system for their house. You're protecting yourself physically from burglars coming into your house. Why wouldn't you do that energetically as well? Protect your soul, because that is the most important possession that you have, that your children have. So it is time now to also step forth and heal our beautiful children. Keep an eye out for them, protect them. So duality and yin-yang energy needs to be balanced, and it is really happening for the collective, because our collective has really faced its shadow. They have, we've seen our shadows, we've worked on our shadows, and we have therefore rebirthed ourselves into this next level of consciousness, next higher level of consciousness, which is going to take us forth individually and as a collective, because we're moving forth as a collective. So let me see if there's anything else that I'm missing that I wanted to share today on the beautiful spring equinox. And yes, the other message that the dragons wanted to give was, because this is the year of the dragons, remembering the dragon energy within us, that we have their DNA, their consciousness. Most of us do carry that energy within us. And the rise of the dragons means, yes, there are physical dragons that are here that have newly joined Earth. They are weaving the timelines, the organic benevolent timelines from the time of Lemuria coming live in its organic gridding, in its organic crystalline form. At the same time, they are reminding us to remember that we are the dragons, to remember that dragon energy within us, to connect with it infinitely, within your own consciousness. Connect with the dragon within you, meditate, go within and feel those dragon wings, that dragon consciousness, the dragon element that you are. Let that dragon rise, let them rise, and be who you are. Be that beautiful dragon that you are. This is really the year of the dragons. So let's remember them from within us. Those are all the messages that I had for now. And if anything else comes up, I'll be happy to share, my own experience and messages that come forth. If there's anything that you'd like to share, you can leave a comment under the video, and I'll see you around next time. Until then, I send you infinite source love, source blessings, and I respect you all. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all the work that you're doing, and infinite source blessings to you and your beautiful family from me and mine. Thank you. I love you.